Big exciting news to start your Tuesday morning as the rumblings of the House over a stimulus package and second stimulus package heat up. But who really cares? Because ultimately, a checkmate is in place in the Senate to ensure that whatever lands from the House is blocked by a check provision. The check provision is a standalone bill that says, hey, you get a check out or your checkmate. You're not going to see light of day for any proposal you want unless you pass one for a stimulus check. Millions of Americans, $1,200 for adults, $500 for children. This is incredible and great news, as this video, for the first time ever, will detail with me and you how corporate America and corporate greed is heating up today. As big bailouts of corporate America heats up in a second stimulus package debacle this week, as millions of Americans are homeless, millions of Americans are facing homeless, millions of Americans who have absolutely nothing in their savings account left, not a penny to their name, are being forgotten because corporate greed is preeminent once again. We need to bail out big corporations which have had 1, 2, 3 rounds of PPP. Oh, they need another round of PPP. Well, guess what? Millions of Americans never got a first stimulus check. Millions of Americans weren't given a stimulus check. And millions of Americans are facing eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance. Where's the relief for them? They need a stimulus check right now. Where is the stimulus check for them? Oh, we'll get to them in January, February. When they're dead? When they're dead, when they're on the streets in the thick of winter, suffering frostbite and COVID rampaging. We'll get to them in January, or we'll get to them if we need to in January, February. No, for the first time ever, you're going to see me detail why all the calls from the problem creators are absolutely nonsense, pure garbage, and why America needs to wake up and understand that a stimulus check is what's needed right now. I need you to take this video and tag all the big people, because this is the video you're going to singly hear today that is going to wipe the fake narrative off the planet for big business on the second stimulus check. I'm so glad you joined me. The toast is toasting, the butter is buttering, the teeth are grinding, and I'm here, you're here, and let's get rock and rolling. This is Mornings LALATE. Hey, good morning, everybody. It's Mornings LALATE. Thank you for joining me on a big morning's broadcast. I'm going to be detailing these big stimulus checks that are coming to you from states. State stimulus checks, rent stimulus checks for utilities. Then I'll be turning back to Congress on their stimulus check. Then it's $2,400 for SSI and SSDI and more. I'm going to be doing something in this video which I've never done, I don't think, ever on this channel, which is really just call out all the fake narratives from Cassidy and Manchin and the prom creators about what is really needed in this 11th hour of December. It's just all fake. And someone needs to call them out for their fake narrative once and for all. So I'll be getting to that shortly. But first, subscribe to this channel, because no one's ensuring that you get money right now, not 5 months from now, not 5 weeks from now. Congress has done much of nothing. They haven't given you money. And now the wonderful organizations across the country, nonprofits, are paying for rent, food, utilities, and more. I'll go over those organizations that are paying you rent in this video. I'll also be going over the states that are giving you stimulus checks, rent stimulus, utility stimulus. Well, how about those states that the prom creators want to bail out? Have they given anything to their citizens? No. So they want to bail them out. Are they going to use that money and give it to you? No. Oh, I see sort of a trend here. We keep on bailing out states that don't give you, the citizens, anything. And yet in this video, I'm going to be going over the incredible states that are giving you stimulus relief. You see, and they're not asking for bailouts. See sort of a trend here? I see a trend here. So please subscribe. Also, like this video. In this video, I'll be going over the state stimulus checks, state rent stimulus checks, state utility stimulus checks, and also Congress's stimulus debacle this week. Meantime, I'll be turning to all that SSI and SSDI $2,400 fascinating news that heats up in January, and the MFCs that will be coming in January from Joe Biden. A lot of breaking news. And with that, let's get to the breaking news. The breaking news, as you sit here this morning, is that Congress is making a mockery of itself. The problem creators, which are a bunch of mostly Republicans, they portray themselves as bipartisan, but they're mostly Republicans, are doing a full court press junket to talk about how millions of Americans need the relief right now that they're proposing, and that is the solution to the situation. Does this sound familiar? That as millions of Americans have been waiting for their relief since March on this channel, and have absolutely seen not a penny of it, suddenly a bunch of people who have gotten relief time and time again are coming back and saying, give us some more, we need it right now. Wait a second, we never got ours. Let me recap. Under the first stimulus package, you were supposed to get a stimulus check in March, April, May. The original version of the CARES Act 1 bill had 3 stimulus checks, one for every month for the pandemic was going on. When they went to the final version of the bill, they took out the other 2 stimulus checks. We said, we'll get to you later. You got 1 stimulus check, or in the case of adult dependents, anyone who's an adult who appears on someone else's tax return, you didn't get a stimulus check. That's hundreds of millions of Americans, including people on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, railroad benefits, veterans, never got a first stimulus check because you're adult dependent. Well, come May, you were told you would get help. To this day, you've never gotten a single penny. To this day, you have never gotten a single penny. So what is this other group that's coming forward as a bipartisan set of, or I call them problem creators? What have they gotten since May? They got 1 round of PPP. They got another round of PPP. Got another round of PPP. They got 1, 2, 3 rounds of EIDL. Airlines got 1 round of money before. Hotels got money before. They're all back for more money. Sound familiar? It does. It does. People continually who get money over and over and over again when you don't get a single penny. Does it sound fair? It's not. It's absolutely categorically unfair, un-American, and unhuman. I'm going to tell you right now why it's unhuman. Viewers of this channel in July sat back and wondered what was going on with the negotiations for the second stimulus check. And at that time, Nancy Pelosi was offered by Steve Mnuchin an FPUC offer of $400 a week. FPUC had expired in July. It expired to this day. It's never been reinstated. No one has seen any urgency to reinstate it. And she was offered $400 a week. She turned it down. It's been 20 weeks since then. So viewers of this channel, instead of $8,000 in the bank account, have what? Homelessness. Homelessness. They have homelessness instead of $8,000. They are now homeless. Millions and millions of viewers that tune into this channel every day have gone from home in July to homelessness by late July. Now the surge is increasing. Is an eviction moratorium or mortgage forbearance in any of these proposals, or has anyone even considered that as a top priority? No, absolutely not. It doesn't cost anything. It's just not quite clear why they don't have that included. So stimulus check, when we talk about a stimulus check, $1,200 stimulus check, for people who never got a check for May, June, July, August, September, October, November, when we talk about a mere $1,200 stimulus check, what do we hear from certain elected officials? You're not urgent. We'll take care of you in January. Oh, we're not urgent. We've been waiting since April. Okay, what happens in January when I'm dead? My survivor gets my stimulus check when I'm on the street, homeless because there's no eviction moratorium, no mortgage forbearance. And what happens then? Who gets the stimulus check then? But then maybe you'll get it. Today, a major broadcast news channel, which I absolutely adore, booked one of America's most top leading economists and investors and talked about the round for another round of PPP for big business, and said big business is going to get wiped out. Here's the problem with that analysis, and here's the problem with anything sort of like that. There's a thing still around called EIDL. EIDL, economic injury disaster, is still around. Businesses can go get an EIDL. This channel has gotten viewers anywhere between, I think it's now $25 to about $45 million in EIDL since May. You can still get an EIDL today. I have thousands of viewers every week who get an EIDL. You can get an EIDL if you're a business and you need economic relief. Why is Congress talking about PPP? And what's the difference between a PPP and EIDL? Take one guess. You're going to get it right. PPP is free, EIDL is not free. They want free money instead of an EIDL. Okay. Well, suddenly that is taking preeminence over you and your stimulus check. Now, no one disputes that a PPP is not helpful. PPP is helpful to millions of businesses. But how about airlines? They got money before. What did they do when they got the money before? Did they just lay off workers? What did they do before? Corporate America, big airlines can raise debt, can go to the Wall Street and raise debt. What did hotels do? They just closed their door and collected the money. Did they service the industries? Hotels were given the option, by the way, for example, to service COVID-19 mitigation issues, to release certain things. Did they do it? The vast majority did not. The vast majority of swanky, nice hotels just closed their doors while corporate owners just stayed home and sipped a cocktail. Sound fair? It's not fair. So now let me turn to what is fair. What states are doing for you. States are sending out stimulus checks. Now, here we go. Maine, $600 stimulus check. Colorado, $375 you're going to get. New Mexico, you can get $1,200. Oregon, $500. North Carolina, $335. Houston, City of Houston, congratulations, you get $1,200. Austin, getting $2,000 stimulus checks. City of Orange, they're doing another round of $1,000 checks on December 17th. They also have another $1,200 if I got them right. City of Jacksonville, $1,000 stimulus check. Pennsylvania is also pending for stimulus check. Also pending for stimulus checks potentially are New Hampshire, Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Virginia, Delaware, Escambia County, Florida, Fort Worth, Texas, and Gadsden County, Florida. Notice something not in that list? Yeah, California. California. How much money has California given its residents as stimulus relief? Stimulus check, rent stimulus, utility stimulus. I'm trying to hear. I can't hear it. The answer is zero. The states that want the biggest bailout from Congress this week are the states that have done nothing for their citizens. Zippo. Nada. The states that haven't come to Congress shouting and screaming for money are doing this. And they're not alone. City of Atlanta, stimulus check, rent stimulus being issued. These are the cities and counties doing rent stimulus across the board. Rent stimulus in City of Atlanta, counties across Georgia like Gwinnett and DeKalb, City of Nashville. It just keeps on going and going. Now, while those organizations are paying rent and utilities, there's other organizations nationally that are absolutely God's workers. They're absolutely wonderful organizations. Viewers have gotten rent from the following national known nonprofits that are absolutely wonderful organizations. Ultimately, you need to check and see whether this money is still available, but they've gotten money from the following organizations. Viewers have gotten rent in Texas from St. Mary Magdalene, in Kentucky from Common Community Ministries, in New Jersey from United Way, in Ohio from Community Action, in Massachusetts from Interfaith Social Services, in Phoenix from TCDC, in New Jersey from United Way, in Alabama by Calling 211, in Delaware nearly $10,000 up to $10,000 for the state. Wonderful. In Rhode Island from the Rhode Island Housing Authority, they've gotten rent. Also in Rhode Island, they've gotten rent from Crossroads. In Mississippi, they've gotten rent from 4 different organizations: Mercy House, Home Savers, Salvation Army, MSHDA Eviction Diversion. In Indiana, they got rent from IndianaHousingNow.org. They've also gotten it from 211. In Las Vegas, they got it from Clark County Services. In Kentucky, they got utilities from Community Action. Pennsylvania, they got rent from United Way. New York, they got from One Shot. Michigan, they got it from Salvation Army. Arizona, they got it from New Leaf. They've also gotten money from United Way in Nebraska and also United Way in Georgia. They've gotten mortgage assistance from 877 Get Hope, which is a division of United Way. And then they've gotten utilities across the board. How much has Congress given people for rent? I can't hear you. I can't hear you. Zero. How much has Congress given millions of Americans for utilities? Zero. How much has Gavin Newsom given citizens for rent? Well, the city of LA got some money. County of San Diego got something, but most states, counties of California got zero for rent. How much has counties of LA gotten for utilities because of Gavin Newsom? Next to nothing. So you see this sort of dichotomy of certain groups like states, cities, and counties, in some cases, doing wonderful jobs of getting relief to millions of Americans, and then nonprofits doing incredible work. And then you see Congress saying, you know what, we need to bail out some more big businesses. No, you don't. No, you don't. You first need to take care of people who need a check. And with that, let me get to these incredible comments by Bernie Sanders, who seems, with Representative Josh Hawley, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, and other Democrats in the Senate, to be the only one that have their heads screwed on correctly lately. Congress is not going home until we do that, and that's what American people want, in referring to the stimulus check. He made it very clear, Congress is not going home unless the Senate approves a stimulus check bill, passes it. What's going to happen? You're going to see a lot of mess arriving potentially from the House. Potentially you'll see the House pass a very, very bad bill. Potentially that does not have a stimulus check in it. Who cares? Because when it lands the Senate, it's not going to pass. It's not going to pass. Why? Because Bernie Sanders and Josh Hawley, independent from Vermont, Republican from Missouri, made a message very clear on the Senate floor last Friday. We'll give you a 1-week extension. We're not going to keep on giving you extensions. This is enough already. This time, we're not giving you extension. In fact, you're not going home. We're not going to allow you to put the Senate into recess unless this becomes law. It's a standalone stimulus check bill. They're going to block anything that's junk coming from the prom creators from the House into the Senate unless they pass a standalone stimulus check bill for those people who are now homeless, for those people who are facing homelessness, for those people who have no money, for those people who don't own rich restaurants and have nice Bentleys in the front lawn, for those people who haven't seen 4 or 5 rounds of stimulus relief, of round after PPP and round after PPP, for people who don't have a savings account of hundreds of millions of dollars, for people who don't have anything. They're not going to let anyone go home from the Senate unless those people get a stimulus check. What kind of negotiations is this when you go from $3.4 trillion to $188 billion in new money? That's not a negotiation. That's a collapse, Sanders said yesterday. We cannot go home unless strong unemployment benefits plus $1,200 per adult, $500 per kid for every working person family in this country set out. He says we're not going home unless stimulus check is set out. House Democrats passed $3.4 trillion bill, and you have the Republicans in the administration talking about $1.8 trillion, and now you're down to $188 billion in new money, which does not include one nickel in direct payments for working families of this country. Totally unacceptable, and has to get rejected. To make it even worse, notice his numbers. He was talking about 188. Now they're trying to do the prom creators, 900 billion, 800 billion, 700 billion. Who cares the number? Still no stimulus check in there. Why? Because they keep on piling stuff in and on top of stuff for big business. Ultimately, big business is entitled to PPP if they don't want EIDL. So, but airlines and hotels who got rounds before should be behind in line. People who got PPP before should be behind in line. People who have not got to relief need to be first in line. Vaccines across this country are being dispersed to people who are frontline workers, hospital workers who are frontline on the pandemic. Guess who's frontline on the stimulus situation? Citizens. Citizens are frontline because they have never gotten a penny since this pandemic started, if they're adult dependents, or got a mere $1,200 when this pandemic started. Can you imagine? A mere $1,200 since this pandemic started, and big business has gotten millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars over and over again. Enough has to stop. This is silliness. They think they can just play America with press releases and nice flyers. They can't. Take this video and share it and tag all the people involved. Tag Bernie Sanders, tag Representative Josh Hawley, tag AOC. Make the message very loud and clear. You're not going home unless the stimulus check is going out. Now, no one is disputing that that PUA and UI have to be extended. This channel has been very loud and clear. The following things have to be done in this bill or in this week. Extension of PUA, expiring late December. Extension of UI, expiring late December. Eviction moratorium, mortgage forbearance. Student loan repayment is also quite important. And a stimulus check. that is given to all adults, whether you're an adult dependent or not an adult dependent. That also all has to be done. When that is done, then you can take care of other stuff, but not the reverse. If you have questions, comments, to talk about today's video. Meantime, join me at 12 noon for Holidays LALATE. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, and sorry that the early morning to LA 6:30 show got a little bit delayed. But as always, stay informed and stay with LA for more.